Hey, what's up everyone, Special Game 75 here today. Terror playing Would You Like to Run an Idle Cafe Part 5. Alright, let's get started. I'm so happy I met your colleagues, Amelia. Those girls were so cute. They were seriously cute. They were even cuter than this delicious beef. Cuter than beef, huh? Ichigo beams practically from ear to ear as she shovels a mouthful of beef and onions in her mouth. That's a lot of beef you're shoving down there. Her table manners aren't the most refined, but I guess it's kind of endearing. She's got a bit of sauce on her lower lip though. If she hasn't noticed, I guess I'll wipe it away for her. Feeling distinctly like a mother, I pick up a napkin and reach across the table. Yes, it's very exciting, but you should be careful. You'll spill food all down your front. I dab at Ichigo's chin and she giggles. Dab, huh? Thanks for looking out for me. You're the best. I'm not so sure about that. I was pretty rotten fried from to Ichigo in the past. Maybe that's why I'm trying so hard to make it up to her. I don't want her to feel unwanted or unappreciated. That would be a poor way to repay her after she's done so much for me. Really though, Ichigo pouts. It's so unfair. What is? That you get to see all those girls every day and I don't. I'm like super jelly. Super jelly. Probably those thighs you got. I want to hang out with Ku and Miyuki too. I'm sure we become really good friends. Any pal of yours is a pal of mine. I already said we're not friends. I already know them. That's just for the presents. You'll get to know them eventually and I'll be left out in the cold. Please don't forget about me, Naoya. Don't be silly. I ruffle the top of her head with one hand, as I often do whenever she's being particularly neurotic, which is more than often than you might think. Despite her near perpetual smile, Ichigo feels things a lot, and she emotes enough for 12 people. I would never forget about you, even if I do become friends with Miyuki and Ku, which, let's face it, seems kinda unlikely, in Miyuki's case at least. You're my childhood friend, I've known you for years. Our bonds aren't going to disappear just like that. Do you really mean that? Of course I do. Cross your heart? And I hope to die. I'd even stick a needle in my eye if you like. Oh no, that would really be going too far. I wouldn't want to hurt you. Your happiness is my happiness. We've been together a long time, and I only want the best for you. I'd be glad if you like to make more friends. But if I feel anxious all the time, maybe I'm being silly. Ichigo sighs. I guess I don't like being left out of things, especially when cute girls are involved. Might be more insecure than I thought. Really though, she toys with a strand of her long golden hair and a usual contemplative look upon her face. I think I'd like to work with you, then we could all hang out together, the four of us. Does that sound like fun? I wouldn't be opposed to the idea. Ichigo could be a handful of times, but I've never met being on her company to the point of the queasiness she's relaxing to be with, almost despite herself. It wouldn't bother me if she wanted to work out with me, but... Is that a good idea though? I thought you were busy at university. It seems like you have a lot of friends to work to do. Yeah, that's right. My schedule's already packed. I guess for the present, it'll be nothing more than a dream. I'll keep my distance for now, but Ichigo stabs a finger at me from across the table. You've got to tell me if there are any romantic overtures, okay? I don't want to be kept in the dark. As your absolute BFF, I want to root for you no matter what happens. Let me be your cheerleader, okay? Of course. I'll tell you everything. Though I doubt there'll be all that much to tell. I'm not the lady killer you seem to take me for. Nonsense. You used to slick back your hair and you can ride a motorbike. What's not to like? Any girl would fall for you after knowing about your rude past. I know have. Or would. Ichigo laughs a bit too loudly, her cheeks turning pink. I'm just kidding, we're only friends. We like to use to bath together. It'd be weird if we went out. I don't really have a horse in this race, so don't get the wrong idea. I'm just trying to look out for you. Yeah, Ichigo picks her chopsticks up again and stuff a bit more food into her mouth. She's elegant as per usual, and she drips a bit more sauce down her lips to her chin. At least she doesn't get it to her clothes. That would be a pain to wash out. Good grief! I sighed and picked up the crumbled napkin once more. I dab the sauce off of Ichigo's chin and she smiled shyly. Thanks, Noya. Sorry if I'm acting weird, kind of weird. I'm just thinking. With a pair of cute girls like that, it's inevitable something will happen. It will always does. In what? In romantic dramas and shoujo manga, of course, it's a perfect setup for lovey-dovey shenanigans. It'd be more surprised if something didn't happen. That's just cause you watch too much TV. It's raw in your brain. Life doesn't work like that. I refute Ichigo's words as coolly as I can, but I still find myself pondering regardless. Could she have a point? It seems unlikely, but maybe something really will happen. I wonder what. The day begins to pass, and I slowly grow more comfortable with my job at the Seaside Cafe. I like keeping busy, and I like earning my own money. Toy, what the hell? I also, to my surprise, like working with Miyuki and Ku. I got off to a bit of a bumpy start with Miyuki, but I don't think she's a bad girl. She's very earnest about her job, and she takes a good deal of pride in her works as a maid. I think she's an admirable senior, and I have no qualms about following her lead. That holds true for most aspects at least, but she's not completely perfect. Miyuki does have a few defects she needs to work on, her short temper being chief among them. This temper of hers flares up quite spectacularly one evening when dealing with a rude customer. I don't catch the very beginning of an argument, but that's irrelevant. I hear more than enough to deduce that this customer is trouble. You stuck-up little madam. The customer, a businessman, is in his late 40s or so, scowls at Miyuki and his face twisted. His cheeks are pinky, his cheeks soon creased, and I think he might be more than a little drunk. How dare you look down on your nose at me like that? I was only asking you politely if you would wipe down my thighs because I spilled coffee on it, and this is how you respond? I think we know what's gonna happen here. So, don't act so high and mighty. You're just serving a wench. You need to remember that customer is always right. Now hurry up and get to work. As if I would, Miyuki counters the man, her voice almost aggressive as his. You're the one who made the mess. You ought to clean it up by yourself. Aren't you supposed to be an adult? As for myself, I have no desire to put my hands anywhere near you. If you want special service, you come to the wrong establishment. Oh, damn. This is a cafe, not a house of ill repute, and I would thank you to remember that and keep your perverted fantasies under wraps. Oh, damn. Perverted? How dare you? The customer rises to his feet, his face redder than a ripe strawberry. Don't try to act all coy and prissy with me when you're flouncing about in a short, silly dress like that. Don't kid yourself. People come into this cafe for its third-rate coffee. The only reason anybody would waste time in a place like this is to ogle the maids. You're nothing more than a piece of eye candy, and you are nothing more than a drunken good-for-nothing louse. Why you? And this is gonna be crazy. This is gonna get some intense power. The customer lunges at Miyuki, but doesn't get very far. I come between the pair of them before things can get really heated. Excuse me, sir, but you're causing a scene. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. You gotta go, man. Why you? The customer glares at me. What's the big idea? Who think you are some sort of a knight errant? Why don't you get lost and leave me alone with the little lady? We were talking. I don't think those words that pass between the pair of you really count as a pleasant conversation, sir. The staff here clearly don't know how to speak up to their elders. I'll be complaining to your manager about this. Sure, you do that and see what she says. I think you'll find she'll be on our side, though. This is worth the hassle. The irate customer grabs his jacket from his table, turns to leave with his parting riposte. I'll not be coming back. Oh, good. Don't come back. The door slams behind him, and the order is restored once more to the Seaside Cafe. The handful of patrons who were present during the confrontation exhales in relief, as I do. I wasn't bluffing, but I'm relieved the guy backed off before things got violent. I'm no stranger to breaking noses or spilling blood, but I'd rather put those days behind me. Are you alright, Miyuki? That guy didn't upset you too much, did he? Oh, what? Oh, no. It's fine. Miyuki shakes her head vaguely. She looks a bit perturbed by all that's happened, which is understandable. That guy said some truly awful things to her. Do you often get customers like that? Not too often. I can usually deal with them on my own, but he was particularly persistent. Truth to be told, I was beginning to panic. I wasn't sure what I would do. It was a bit scary, but thank you, Noya, for standing up for me. You're a lot nicer than I first gave you credit for. Yes! The following week. I am beat. Finished with my morning shift at the Seaside Cafe, I retreat from hustle and bustle of lunch rushed to the decidedly calmer break room. Miyuki's shifts started a bit later than mine, so she's still busy working. Ku's shifts line up with mine today, however, and she's sitting in the break room already when I arrive. She's starting at the beginning, but her eyes look unfocused. I wonder if she's fallen asleep. She looks out of it. Are you alright, Ku? Yeah, she is sleeping. No response. Well, I should have predicted that. Let's try this again. Aren't you going to eat your lunch? Still no response. Ku's such a tough nut to crack. I've been working at the Seaside Cafe for 2 weeks now, and while I've had occasional conversation with Miyuki, I don't think I've ever wrung more than a sentence out of Ku at a time. She doesn't really talk that much, though. Coaxing words from her is like trying to get blood from a stone. Hey Ku, earth to Ku. I sit beside her at the table and wave a hand in front of her face. I'm sure this at least will be able to ensnare her attention. My best efforts soon proved to be in vain. She doesn't turn to look at me. She doesn't even blink. I was just joking before, but now I'm seriously starting to worry. Is she actually dead? Hey, I turned one of my coworkers, a pretty waitress whose name I think is Midori, and say, "Is Ku alright?" "Oh, she's fine." Midori offers me a reassuring smile. She does this quite frequently. At this point, we've all learned to overlook it. This cafe would be better if we could overlook her whole existence. One of my coworkers huffs, and after swallowing a bit of her sad, rather wilted-looking chicken sandwich. Chicken sandwich? Yeah, I'm sure was such a weirdo. I don't know why Miss Miyamori puts up with her. You ask her to do something, and she just stares at you with those big empty eyes like something sort of corpse. She's like a total freak. I said, that's not a nice thing to say. Who cares? It's the truth. No other establishments would put up with a girl like her. She's clearly abnormal. She's so creepy, I bet she scares the customers away. She looks like a doll, not a cute French doll, but the sort you find in an antique store that stab you in your sleep. Ugh. Atsuko. Midori scolds her friend, but her lips are beginning to quirk upwards in corners. I think she's trying to suppress a smile. It's true enough that Yamashiro is a bit off, but I don't think she's a bad person. She just marches to the beat of a different drum, I suppose. Yeah, well, I shudder to think what that drum of hers is playing. Knowing her, it'll be all mixed up with satanic chanting. Oh, Atsuko. Midori shakes her head. I'm sorry about her. Yokoyama, she's in a bad mood, is all, because Yamashiro gave her a fortune she didn't like. You asked Ku to predict your future? Atsuko harumps. Yeah, that's right. There's this guy I have a crush on a handsome office worker who stops by this cafe every once in a while. He always smiles when I serve him, and I thought I was in with a chance. I know Yamashiro was a big on fortune telling, so I decided to ask her if there was a future between me and this guy. It was just a bit of fun, really. I don't believe in love fortunes. It's all like way too unscientific. I figured she'd spin a sweet, fluffy love story between me and my bayo, and I could walk away satisfied. But she didn't, though. Did she? Hell? She told me that I didn't have a chance with that guy, or any guy in general. She consulted the cards, and apparently Asuko rolls her eyes. They told her I'd have a series of meaningless affairs with a bunch of losers, then settle down to get married to a boring salary man in my early 30s. She was totally insulting me, and she did it all in this really cool way, like she didn't even care. That was bad enough. But then she said my husband would cheat on me 3 years into our marriage, and we get divorced, and I'd be stuck with 2 young kids and a bunch of debt. And then I'd have to move back in with my parents. Is that just horrible? That's no love fortune. It's a litany of misery. Where does this girl get off? If my future is that grim, I'd like to know what hers is like. I can't believe she has better prospects than me. She's such a weirdo. Asuko kicks the leg off the table in disgust. Thinking about it is pissing me off. It makes me want to grab her by the shoulders and shake her. Alright, Asuko, please don't get so worked up. Yamashiro can't really tell the future. She's just pretending. I know that, but that makes it even worse. Why she had to say such awful stuff? It wouldn't have killed to tell her me what she knew I wanted to hear. Maybe she was just trying to tell a joke. No way, my future is no joke. If she wanted to make me laugh, she missed the mark. Ugh. I'm so pissed I can't stay here with her. I think I need to go out and get some fresh air. Hey, Atsuko. Atsuko rises from the table, Midori on her heels. Both waiters exit the break room. Midori with a backward glance and an apology. I'm sorry about this, Yokoyama. The door closes with a thud, then silence reigns. Now it's just Ku and me. I look at Ku curiously. She hasn't said a word during the proceedings, and I'm a bit worried. Being chewed out like that by her own coworker can't have much fun, you know? Well, I think Asuko has a right to be angry. Ku's fortunes are incredibly harsh. She might have taken it out of a bit too far. If Midori hadn't been there to ring her in, she might have attacked Ku. Ku doesn't look upset, but surely that's a front. Ku, are you okay? Still no response? How vexing. I'm sorry if you didn't want me to hear that. That must have been embarrassing for you. I didn't know you were having problems with your coworkers. Look, I know I'm still a newbie, but if Asuko gives you any grief, you could tell me. I'll try to sort things out with her. It must be awkward for you working with a woman who hates your guts. I don't think you're blameless in this incident, but you don't deserve to be spoken to like that. I guess I'm saying is I'd like to help you out if I can. I know you've got Miyuki, but I wouldn't mind being your friend too. Kuru remains silent. Is she being willfully full obtuse? I'm just about ready to give up and eat my lunch when... Naoya? Ku turns to look at me. She blinks her head, tilted askance. Did you say something? Yeah, I said several somethings actually. I've been trying to get your attention for the last 10 minutes and so have your colleagues. My colleagues? Atsuko said, and Midori and I think their names are. They were talking about you. They were? Ku blinks. I don't see them anywhere. They already left. Didn't you notice them? Surely you have heard them. Atsuko was pretty angry. Atsuko's always angry. She has a short temper. That's why she'll live in an unfulfilling, unloved life. Damn, you sure don't mince your words. Wow. I laugh awkwardly, as I am right now. I think I can see why she hates you so much. She hated me because I tell the truth. The spirits do not lie. Right, so you really didn't hear the stuff she was saying. Ku shakes her head. And you're not upset. She shakes her head again. Her expression is utterly impassive, and I see no reason to disbelieve her. She looks completely unruffled. I'm starting to think that the meteoric could crash into the building and Ku wouldn't jump. Why are her reactions so muted? Well, if you need a friend, you can talk to me. Thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, now that I got her to smile, that's a rare sight. I really am fine, though. I know my colleagues dislike me. Asuko is not the only one. Midori does not like me much either, though she at least tries to be nice. The other waitresses and waiters laugh behind my back. They think I'm strange, and I am. But it does not bother me. I am not alone, but I have Miyuki looking out for me. And now I have you too. Kyo doesn't speak at all that often, so that little speech of hers had quite the impact. I'm starting to blush. I had no idea she could be so cute. Hey, Naoya. What? Do you want to listen to my music with me? I don't mind sharing. Oh, is that what you're doing? Ku nods. I have my headphones in. I always do when I'm in the break room without Miyuki. It drowns out my colleagues' negativity energy. If I listen to music, their words can't hurt me. It's a very private, personal thing. But I don't mind sharing it with you. Oh, right. Now that Ku measures it, I can see she's holding out an earbud in one hand. I suppose that the others must be nestled inside her earlobe, hidden away behind a sweep of her silver hair. That explains why she was so unresponsive when I tried to speak to her. She really couldn't hear that what I was saying, or Atsuko or Midori for that matter. That's one mystery cleared up, but it invites many more questions. What was she listening to that was so good she spaced out like that? If it's alright, I guess I can give it a listen. Good. I was hoping you would say that. Music can bring people together. It fosters understanding. I hope that you can understand me too. I'll try my best. I know you will. I believe in you. Let me play you a song then. Oh yes, now we're listening together. Pop my earbud into my ear, shift closer to Ku. The legs of the chair scrape against the floor. It's a grating sound, but I pay a little heed. I'm much more preoccupied with the girl next to me. I've never been this close to Ku before. My shoulders brushing against hers, and I can feel her body heat through the fabric of my skirt. I'm not sure what exact I should make of this development. How am I supposed to feel? Awkward? It's kind of nice, you know? Being this close to Ku is surprisingly nice. She might have mastered the art of inertia, but she isn't as she appears. She is no alabaster statue. She's so soft and gentle like any other girl. And she smells good too. We sit for a while like this, and still in silence as Ku searches for a suitable song to play to me. Her white, slender fingers scrolls through her extensive music library. She's moving so fast, I can only catch snippets of the song titles on her phone. She must have been at it for over a minute. She's really is a music connoisseur. I wonder what she listens to. Classical, oh my god. Classical, maybe a jazz, or she seems like a breezy piano sort of person. That's just my own assumption, but based on nothing more than her languid nature. But alright, I think I found something. Let's try this. Ku finally selects a track. There's a brief pause, and then, my ears are quite suddenly assaulted with a cacophony of loud, grating noises. I can't pick out any rhythm or melody in this din. There aren't any vocals or any recognizable instruments. And is this even music? What is this, Ku? It's one of my favorites. Ku smiles vaguely. It's an hour-long recording of a Tibetan goat farm. Isn't it too soothing? Goats are truly majestic creatures. Mozart could never compare. I'm not so sure about that, actually. This isn't even music, it's just a noise, and it's not particularly nice noise either. Does she really listen to this for fun? The more I listen to learn about Ku, the less I understand her. I really don't get this girl. So you listen to goat songs? A few days later. Oh, there she is. And that's a wrap for today. Thank you for your hard working, everybody. Now, why don't we all head on off home? We workers shuffle off to the break room with Miss Miyamori's consent to get changed and collect our belongings. That's what most of us do, at least. But Miyuki proves to be an exception to this rule. She glanced about the cafes furtively, then, when she surely nobody's looking, she slips off to the kitchen. I wonder what she's doing. She's stealing leftover food, but why would she bother? I've been working with Miyuki for several weeks, but I still don't know that much about her and her home life. For all I know, her parents could be poor, her father could have a huge debt to the Yakuza. Her mother is a struggling stay-at-home mother trying to feed a slew of children. Miyuki's job at the cafe could be all keeping the Shinonums with a roof over their heads. And she's stealing food on the sly like to feed her parents and siblings. In my mind's eye, she now has at least 5 of them? And so, it's no wonder she's so austere and aloof. She takes her work at the Seaside Cafe seriously because it's all she has. She's working herself to the bone day in and out to look after her brothers and sisters. After all while trying to be a good role model. Miyuki really is admirable. Looking at back tears, I follow Miyuki to the kitchen. But I'm a little too late. She's not there anymore. Where did she go? I look around for momentarily stumped, but soon I realize the door at the back of the kitchen, which leads onto the street, is slightly ajar. Did Miyuki slip out of the cafe already? She has gone home? That doesn't make much sense though. She hasn't changed out of her maid uniform yet. Rest of her clothes will still be stashed away in her locker in the break room. What's going on? I never seen myself as much as a detective despite watching a whole bunch of Detective Conrad as a kid, but my senses are tingling. There's clearly something afoot, and I'm determined to solve this case. I let myself out of the back entrance and then glance around for the exclusive Miyuki. Fortunately, it doesn't take that long for me to locate her. The hell? A cat? She's crouched down onto the street corner, still attired in her maid outfit. Her frilly dress pulls about her legs and her long hair tumbles down her back in waves. It's the evening, but the sun hasn't set yet. It's still high in the sky, illuminating the top of Miyuki's head with golden rays. It also illuminates the open tin of tuna she's holding in the gloved hand and the fishy flakes inside it. Meanwhile, a black cat observes Miyuki from a few paces away. Its tail twitches, its green eye is very bright. I think the cat might be a stray. It's not wearing a collar, and it looks rather thin. Its coat is dusty, its paws dirty, and some tool of its whisker are bent. It's quite the pitiful thing. I hesitate to call it cute, but Miyuki's smiling at it gently regardless. Here, kitty kitty, come on. Miyuki wafts the tin of tuna into the cat's direction. I've got something tasty for you. It'll fill you up. I'll let you eat all of it if you like, if only you'll come close enough to let me pet you. Now what? Now I see what's going on. If it wasn't already immediately obvious, Miyuki was taking food from the kitchen, but not to feed her starving family. She was trying instead to feed this starving feline. I'm glad Miyuki's dad probably doesn't own the Yakuza any money. That'd be way too grim a fate to wish upon one of my colleagues. Here, kitty kitty. Miyuki clicks her tongue and continues to waft the can of tuna. The cat continues to eye her at a distance. No doubt worry, but eventually Miyuki's cajoling proves too much for it. It purrs, then approaches her. Ah! A wide smile captures Miyuki's smile face. She looks happier than I've ever seen her before. So blissful, she's puzzledly beaming. Yes, that's right. Come on, come to me. I just want to pet you. Hideyoshi. Oh, you're so cute. The cat purrs in response, then nuzzles its head against Miyuki's palm. Ah. Miyuki's response is one of elation. She squeaks and tremor passes through her from toe to top. Oh, you're so cute. I love you so much. Who's a good kitty? You're a good kitty. You're the best kitty in the world, Hideyoshi. Here. Miyuki sets the tin of tuna on the ground. You can eat as much as you like. If that's not enough, I'll go fetch you even more tuna, or maybe a bowl of water. I'll give you anything in the world, absolutely anything, so as long as you let me pet you. Miyuki begins to stroke the cat while it pecks at her offering of tuna. She looks so excited I can't help but snort. What? Miyuki was utterly absorbed by the cat, but my aborted laughter draws her attention. She turns to look at me, still crouching, her eyes wide. Naoya, how long have you been standing there? Long enough. I heard you trying to coax the cat over. I guess you like animals. That's right. Miyuki glanced away from me, her face flushed. I'm fond of cats in particular. You won't tell anyone about this, Ayane, about this, will you? You mean Miss Miyamori? Yeah, she doesn't like it when I feed the stray around here. She's allergic to cats, you see. And well, she doesn't want them hanging around. She scolded me about this before, so I had to feed them in secret. I tried to be careful, but I guess I wasn't careful enough. Miyuki sighs! I've been thinking about this little guy all day. I've been feeding him after work. For the last couple of weeks, I'm always excited to see him. I was counting down the minutes before work as out so I could come here and feed him. I know Yanni told me not to, but I just can't abandon this adorable creature. He's too cute. Miyuki strokes the cat's while she soliloquies, a tranquil smile on her face. She looks like she's on cloud 9, but when she glances back at me, she smiles fades. She frowns. You can keep a secret, can't you, Naoya? You won't let anybody know. I won't tell Miss Miyamori, don't worry. You promise? I promise. This is between you and me. You and me, huh? That makes it sound almost like we're having some sort of Trysta. Wait, what? Miyuki's face turns red. Don't get the wrong idea, alright? You might have figured out my secret, but that doesn't mean I owe you anything. Tsunari! It's not like I'm grateful you're being so understanding, and my heart did not skip a beat just now. It just did. Oh wow, this reaction is even cuter than I expected. And this is the end of today's video, everyone. So thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.